Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. It's been about I think about 2 weeks since I've done a review for Impact. Honestly, I think the last time I did a review for Impact was Slammiversary. I didn't do one the following week after, pretty much after Slammiversary, because all that really was a recap show, and they were just talking to, who they really talking to? They were just kind of talking to Callis and Josh Matthews and other people about the matches. And it was only like one match that didn't really need it to be reviewed, so that kind of would have been a waste of time. Hold that thought real quick. Alexa, lights on. Alexa, lights on.
Okay.
A little dark there, but yes, as I was saying, yes. Yeah, I didn't do a review from that, and I know last week's show was that whole tag team mashup, which I thought that was an interesting concept. And whoever wins this tag tournament type of, thing, it looked like a Mortal Kombat board they kind of had going on too. They would face each other for a shot at the world title, which is, of course, everybody knows by now, Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan, which will be fighting on that Unbreakable show. So at least they are trying to push that Impact Plus thing. I thought it was going to be on the show. I think it's next week, if I'm not mistaken. But I just kind of find it odd that, well, maybe I shouldn't say odd, but I thought it would be on a regular show, not on the Plus shows. But hey, we got to promote somehow. So at least they're trying to make those things canon, like I said before. But moving into this week's episode, back in Windsor, Ontario, at St. Clair College. They had a good opener. I thought it was a good little video package at the opening, by the way, to talk about tonight's show and what was going on, and everything. Pretty much then, right after that, we went into the first match of the night, Jordynne Grace versus Kiera Hogan. I think Grace right now, like I said, if you remember that threat match though a couple weeks ago, like I said, I didn't review that, but if you do remember, Madison Rayne did attack Jordynne Grace right after that match, so it wasn't bad or anything. It was just one match, that's why I didn't review it, but it did build into something, and this kind of comes back into tonight. Pretty much then Don Callis making fun of Josh, which I thought was kind of funny. He said he's nervous next to beautiful women, even though that is his wife. So we got to keep kayfabe here, folks. Kayfabe. But as this match went on, no, I thought this was a good match between Grace and Hogan. Madison Rayne, her on commentary wasn't really that bad, I should say. But this was a good match, though. The finish was pretty good, too. Because I did like when, what was it, Grace hit Kiera Hogan with it was something on the outside. Oh, yeah, with an electric chair on the outside. And they had to beat the 10 count. Madison threw Kiera back into the ring to break the count. But Jordynne ended up winning with the, was it that jackknife pin she does? Or that 3 up, 3 down? Or was it the Grace Driver? I believe it was like a jackknife pin she won with, beating Kiera Hogan. So I thought that was a pretty good match then after that. Pretty much as Madison Rayne pretty much looked on and everything, Jordynne Grace, they pretty much had a bit of a stare down as Grace walked by to the back. But this was a good match, though, I will say that. Heel Kiera Hogan is working. I will say that. At least I will say she's doing better as a heel almost than she done as a face, and, having some better matches and stuff. Pretty much, Grace, she gets a win right here. Kiera was kind of protected with Madison throwing her inside the ring at the last second. So I probably would see another triple threat match from this, but they do speak on this a little later on to the show, so I thought that was a good opener. We then went to, of course, the commentary team talking about tonight's matchups and pretty much Sami Callihan and Tessa Blanchard. We're going to pretty much talk about their number one contendership tonight as they're going to fight next week at Unbreakable, as I said before, because they've been doing this whole California thing or end of summer tour in California. They then went to Taya Valkyrie and Johnny Bravo as they were in Rosemary's lair, as Taya pretty much said, we need your help still with Jessica Havoc and Sue Young, but Rosemary pretty much says, no, that request is expired. our contract expired at Slammiversary, okay? And I have no interest unless you offer up the title on a platter. Rosemary didn't want to help, so Johnny Bravo said he would take care of this one way or another. OVE, well, not OVE, but I guess I heard that song so many times last week, you can't tell who's coming out. Sami Callihan came out for a promo. He wanted Tessa Blanchard to come to the ring. He pretty much, when he first heard about wrestling Tessa Blanchard's Slammiversary, he thought it was going to be a cakewalk. But he said that Tessa showed that she had heart, spunk, and fire. And he pretty much talked about the whole mashup tournament and everything. And that next week they will face one-on-one again for a number one contender shot at the World Championship. And then he says, you people want to boo me and talk crap about me. You should be looking to me as a hero, as he said, because I gave you all equality, all right? And talked about how, male talent had turned down a chance to wrestle Tessa Blanchard. But this is what you people wanted, right? You wanted equality and everything. And we set the wrestling world on fire with that match at Slammiversary, because it wasn't just an intergender match. This was a pro wrestling match, as he told her. And pretty much Sami said that from one pro wrestler to another, I respect you. And he wanted to shake her hand, before next week's match. Tessa didn't really want to do it at first, but Sami says, I don't do this to a lot of people, so he wanted to shake her hand. And he says, no real funny business. And pretty much before Sami left, though, he said, see you there, Toots, and pretty much took the microphone and kind of slapped her on the butt. Tessa was pissed off. She started pretty much punching Callihan in. Sami tried to get out of there, but Tessa hit the Magnum from the top rope, leaving him on the ground. So, good promo by Callihan out there to at least make people want to get Impact Plus and watch this match again like they saw at Slammiversary. I thought it was great they put on Slammiversary, okay? I was skeptical while it was the main event, if you look at my review, but I did enjoy the match, and I thought it was great. I know, like I said before, intergender matches aren't going to be everyone's cup of tea, but this was a good match. I think they will tear down the house again next week. So there was a lot of context to, like I said, to Callihan's promo. So it was good, all right? I thought it was really good. So we'll see what happens next week. The Crist brothers were in the back with Madman Fulton. Pretty much talking about stick to the plan. As Callihan came to the back then, he was pissed off to what Tessa did a few, pretty much after the commercial, I should say. But Callihan pretty much start kind of promo. He said, I tried to treat Tessa as an equal, but you want to sucker punch me and try to make a name for yourself, from the draw, and you want to be a tough guy and everything, but you're going to have to see a monster next week, because next week you're going to be facing Madman Fulton. And pretty much did his whole Ohio versus everything then. Moose was in a match against Ray Steele, pretty much a jobber. This wasn't really much. Moose won, gave a boot, snake eyes, and spear. So Moose won, but then he got on the mic then, talking about he sees things clear now. Moose says, if you want an opportunity in this company, you can't just be loyal, he said. And he talked about how Impact picks certain people and give them opportunities. And now, they're not even in this company right now. Which is kind of true, especially people that have been world champions, as some people brought up. And I'm going to talk about more. I said this a little not that long ago, especially about people's contracts that came up by Slammiversary. But people that are champions, like Johnny Impact, I believe, is not in the contract anymore. Austin Aries, Pentagon Jr., Eli Drake, they're not here. And Moose said, he's put the company first and everything every time. And even gave himself the name Mr. Impact Wrestling. And I've been doing things day in and day out. Because he said, I beat RVD at Slammiversary. I'm here in this pretty much crappy Windsor, Ontario. And, I want my title shot. And you put me against people like this garbage right here. And then he looked at Don Callis and pointed at him and said, you got to start a GoFundMe, okay, for this man. So what I'm about to do to him, he pretty much powerbombed the guy on the apron. And pretty much Moose walked out the back as just looking at Don Callis then. So it was a good promo. I'm surprised. But, his promo wasn't bad, and it kind of leaves you thinking what's going to go on from here, but it's like now Moose is saying, I'm not getting the opportunities like other guys have had, but you know, it is interesting that he kind of brought that up, especially people that are not even in the company anymore that did leave to whatever contract reason. I know Austin Aries was a whole different ball game, but people's contracts that came up, they're not technically here right now. So, you know, there's a strange thing about that. Yeah, there's a strange thing about that when you think about it. So, I don't know where his promo's going, but we'll see. The Rascals were in the smoke circle again, as they talked about that whole title match back at Slammiversary and how the North got involved. But, you know, Dez pretty much said that, I guess, him and, was it Trey or was it, Winston? Trey said, you know, we're getting a title shot next week. They're going to go one-on-one with the North, which they didn't know what one-on-one meant, but at least the teams. Wentz says he won't be able to do it because he has tickets to the Jonas Brothers, and he will not be there. Next thing you know, Gail Kim, haven't really seen in a while, shows up. Pretty much says she was going with Wentz because she likes the Jonas Brothers, so Wentz and Gail Kim left to go pre-game before the concert, so, good on him. You know, can hit that, but you know, yeah, they left as Dez and Trey pretty much trying to figure out what the next week's plan for the title. I guess to go against the North next week. So, yeah, I don't know, man. The Rascals, I still think their segments are pretty fun. I just don't know why they got brown smoke. Isn't the smoke supposed to be white, not brown? I know it looks like Adobe effects, as some say, but it ought to be white smoke and everything. But I just was surprised even that Gail Kim show up in the thing too. Melissa Santos was interviewing Kiera Hogan, but Madison Rayne showed up. As Kiera pretty much talked about, said you haven't won a match in 2011 to Madison, which last time I checked, Madison's been winning a lot of matches lately. But as they argue, Melissa wanted her microphone back. I don't know if they're going to be working together in that against Jordan Grace, but we'll see. Ace Austin was in the back with Alicia Edwards. He was trying to impress with a magic trick, and I guess he did like a card thing. Alicia pretty much said that she says, I saw how you did that, pretty much trying to say that magic was fake and everything. Also said he could turn this piece of paper into money, which, you know, was on fire, and he did. But she said, oh no, I saw how you did that too. It's almost like you know, people making fun of magic, saying it's fake and heckling you, even though it's like a really good trick. Alicia pretty much walked off then. After that, pretty much, after then some other woman came up. What did she say? This other woman walked, like I said, other woman walked up, pretty much said she wanted to see some magic and everything, but, also you're not my type. She pretty much says, what, you don't like brunettes? But Austin says that he only likes, single women. Which, I don't know how that's possible. Alicia Edwards is married to Eddie Edwards. So, why is this a thing? Why is he trying to hit on her? They do know she's married, right? Unless this is going to be some match with, Eddie Edwards is going into. I don't know. Because I kind of find it odd that he said, she's single. But she's married, though. So, a lot of that doesn't make sense. The Mack came out to face RVD. RVD's entrance was very long for some reason, which it almost looked like he wasn't even gonna come out. I don't listen, man. This dude looks more stoned than usual for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm sitting there wondering, like, is RVD ever coming out? And the guy just looked like he was like stoned out of his mind. I swear he looked stoned out of his mind last Monday when he even came out there on Raw, which I still understand why he was just in his gear. And I don't know. He was in his gear and he just stood and did nothing on Monday. So we saw him in a match tonight against the Mack, which I thought this was good. I know some people didn't like it, to what I hear, but I did like this match. Do I think it was better than the one what he did recently with Moose at Slammiversary? A little. Some people, I don't know, like, it wasn't bad. I'm not crapping on the match at all. I thought RVD and Mack did really good out there. It started off a little slow at first, but it picked up speed then. I know some people want to say RVD looks slow nowadays. I'm still trying to see it. I personally, I think RVD could still go, okay? I know he's here in this company, which I heard reports say was money or something, but RVD still got it. I know he can't wrestle in WWE right now because people said I think they said that he was he's like a hazard or something due to his eye and like a liability. Personally, I think the dude could still go. I still thought he had a great match with Moose at Slammiversary, and he put him over and everything. Him and the Mack was pretty good too. I still don't know why they say, oh, it's the 5-star frog splash versus a 6-star frog splash, like it was some type of tribute, even though Moose does not Moose, the Mack does a lot of more Austin Stunners than he does frog splashes. But RVD did win the match, of course, with a 5-star frog splash, which I say, this thing I say about people when they try to doubt RVD. The dude can still fly, okay? That 5-star frog splash is still pretty deadly, flying that far across the ring. But personally, I do believe, he could still go. And I thought they had a really good match out there. I just think this guy looks stoned out of his mind more than usual when he comes out the rest of these matches. I'm not saying he's really getting high before the match or nothing, but this dude looks like he really just looks blazed. Like that's always been the thing with RVD, but something about him just looked more blazed than usual. But like I said before, the guy can still go, so I'm not doubting him. We then went back to Ace Austin with Alicia Edwards. I guess he's gonna do another trick, which he had a levitating box right at his pants and said there was a bird in there, which I'm sure if you know the joke, it's this was actually a song. I remember my brother showed me this song. What was it called? A Dick in a Box. I thought that's if it was on SNL, so it is pretty funny. And until that the Indiana Jones guy, Stone Rockwell, showed up saying there's no bird in here, but it's all mushy, whatever. Which Alicia left, and Rockwell grabbed the bird and walked with Austin as he was hurt at everything as he dragged the bird that was in the box. So, like I said, if you get the joke where this is going, it's a dick in a box, all right? And I know there's a song to that too, so look it up, people. But yeah, though, it's a dick in a box. it is a funny song. I don't care what anybody says. It is pretty funny. Hey, Alexa, play. I should have some fun with this.
Put your junk in that box.
This is funny to do.
If that's the way you do it, it's my dick in a box. My dick in a box.
Alright, Alexa, pause. Alexa, pause. Alright, I just kind of wanted to have some fun with that, though. But other than the dick in a box jokes they got going on Impact right now, we then went to LAX, which I heard it ain't even in this company, if I'm not mistaken, anymore, too. Which, I don't know. Well, first, I want to talk about the segment real quick first. Because they went to Ortiz, who was drinking. Which, for some reason, they blocked out the alcohol. I thought he was either drinking Patron last time I checked. But they had to block out the logo or something. Conan pretty much was worried about Ortiz and everything. Like, drinking too much. But Santana's not here right now. Ortiz was pissed that, the North took out Santana. And that, it made them, it called them scrubs and everything. That, Santana has a torn MCL. And how are we going to do this match in the next 2 weeks? They're not ready. Conan said he had a plan, though. And he said that Daga would be taking his place. Daga came up and introduced himself and, gave handshakes. But Ortiz, listen, I know you're a great athlete, but he is not a killer, Conan, okay? He ain't ready for this stuff right now. He's not a killer. Daga pretty much said, I can show you what I'm about. Ortiz pretty much, he didn't want to hear it, and he just, took the alcohol and left as Conan said he would take care of this. So, I don't know what's going to happen with LAX right now, because to what I hear, their contracts are up, and I heard the last thing was going to be Slammiversary, but they're still here right now. I don't know who they signed with. Listen, I've said before, Impact has been really great to LAX. Because, they've been the top team in this company for the past, I think they came back in, 2017, if I'm not mistaken, during, horrible Global Force phase, but they were like one of the shining things, to bring Conan and, Santana and Ortiz and, Homicide and others back into LAX again. But, between Santana and Ortiz, like, it would suck if they did lose them, I don't know what the stats of their contracts are right now. Because, like I said, I don't know the status of what they are on right now, but, like I said, it would suck if Impact does lose them, because honestly, Impact, it looks like they're losing a lot of guys right now. It's what I've been seeing with these contracts, because I don't even really know who's on the contract right now, or whose contract is almost up, because I don't even know if Killer Cross is still here. Johnny Impact is supposedly to be gone. Could be Taya next if I'm not mistaken. I don't know everybody's status right now with the company, and LAX, I'm sure they're probably gonna get bigger offers, most likely AEW or NXT. I probably want to see them in AEW because I do want to see LAX versus the Young Bucks. I don't even know if they would even still be called LAX though. They probably have to go by a new team name. But NXT, don't get me wrong, they would kill in NXT too, but eventually they're gonna go to the main roster, and WWE will end up ruining that one way or another. So I'd probably go AEW, but if I were Impact, they really need to be smart with these contracts and keep these guys, because LAX is like, that's been one of the least watchable things on Impact for the past few years, and I've always enjoyed that. They either had the best matches on there, or they just have some of the greatest segments on there. So it would really suck if they leave Impact, but I thought they were done at Slammiversary, I heard, but apparently they are still here. I don't know how far along. Like I said, I don't know the status of their contracts right now, but I when I just kind of heard they were gone already, I didn't think I was even going to see a segment from this or this injury angle that's going on right now. So we'll see from that. Melissa Santos was interviewing Michael Elgin for this street fight tonight against Brian Cage. Elgin said that Impact Wrestling is stupid because, that the title should be on the line. That's why it's a non-title match, and that Cage is scared. Cage calls himself the Machine, but I keep breaking the Machine because, instead of getting ready for the hospital and everything, I don't think Cage really does just get ready for Melissa, which, they have to bring that up several times because I believe that's his fiance, or I believe they're married now, if I'm not mistaken. They kept bringing that up. Rich Swann versus Jake Crist for the X Division Championship. This was a really good match that I enjoyed, and a very surprise too. Of course, OVE did get involved and everything, as Swann. I actually just thought Swann was going to retain, but with OVE's help, Jake Crist was able to win the X Division title. I thought this was a really good match. Yeah, it was a lot of interference, but I don't have a problem with this in a way because I'm glad at least they're giving the Crist brothers something right now. I know they're not going for any tag belts or anything, but this is good. I will say this. It gives, one of the Crist brothers something to do, and I would say they are their own individual characters and stars, and they are entertaining because, listen, to be honest, Swann wasn't really doing nothing with that belt anyways. Like, Swann's probably been putting on the best matches in this company and being in the main event a lot because we all knew Cage was out at the time, and Swann was putting on some of the greatest matches out there. But taking the X Division title off of him, I got no problem with that. He never really defended it that much. Okay, he really wasn't. He just didn't really defended at anything. Now, if you want to push him for the world title, I have no problem with that. I think he's proved himself to be in that talk for a world title shot. I'm not right now during whatever feud we got going on right now, but I think he has put himself in the next step to that. So I have no problem with them taking the X Division belt off of him right now. As the Crist brothers then pretty much went back to Sammy and Fulton, pretty much says, "I did it." Sammy said, "No, OVE did it," and OVE became the X Division champion, and that Sammy was happy for him. Then Jake, pretty much said, Sammy, I did what you couldn't do and beat Rich Swann. Sammy was pretty much pissed in after that, and Jake said, "I should be the golden draw now." Sammy said that was dumb. He said, "It's not gold, it's silver." And Jake said, it tastes like white gold. So yeah, Sammy pretty much was annoyed, and he says the problem was Tessa Blanchard. Sammy's promo going all over the place in anything he's talking about, even back to Blanchard. And then Sammy left, Fulton and Dave, they were giving high fives to Jake Crist. Even Fulton was like, wait a minute, Fulton just gave you a high five? So I guess he was acting like a human than, a brainwashed giant working for OVE. He was more human than a monster this time. So I thought that was a pretty good segment after Jake Crist won the X Division title. They then went to Brian Cage, who was coming out for this match, which he never came out for the main event. He was on the ground crawling as Michael Elgin had a chair, and he's pretty much whacked Cage in the back with it and started beating with the chair down the ramp. He threw him back in the ring. Elgin called him a piece of garbage. He says, non-title, this is what you all are giving me, non-title matches. And he says, I guess I gotta break the machine again. And he says, why wait then? Let's just do it now. He hit him with a concerto, put another chair in the ring, and hit him in his head with. The security guys came out. Elgin started throwing them all over the place. He got another chair. He had the chair sitting up. He put Cage's head into the chair then. And before he could do anything else with it, next thing you know, Melissa Santos came out and tried to stop it and pretty much, begged Elgin, don't do this and everything. But next thing you know, the Rhino in a mask came out, which I thought this was pretty cool. I thought it was a great angle in the show. But the swerve right there, which I actually thought this was Rhino because Elgin saw it coming and just threw the chair at supposedly Rhino's face, because I thought it was him. I'm like, well, at least he was smart about it this time. But then next thing you know, another person shows up in the mask, which was actually the real Rhino then, who got a big pop. He gored Elgin and he went into the crowd. The fans started chanting Rhino all over the place. He unzipped his hoodie to have an Impact shirt on to prove that Rhino is back in Impact Wrestling again. And I guess he's going to be in a feud with Michael Elgin right now, which I thought the other guy was Rhino for a second because they almost had the same body type and gear, which I just thought Rhino really just ran into a chair. But next thing you know, he just he came back and he just came from, it was a second guy. He came and he gored Elgin. So I thought it was a great angle to end off the show. Now I don't know who Cage is going to feud with now for the world title, because if they got Elgin probably focusing on Rhino right now, then Cage, could it be a triple threat match? Maybe. Could it just be Elgin and Rhino? Possibly. Like I said, I will say one thing. The Impact is getting all these ECW guys back lately. We've been seeing a lot of ECW talent all over the place. So yeah, I thought this was a good segment. But overall, I thought it was a really great episode of Impact. I did enjoy a lot of things, from the ending angle to the Swan versus Crist match. The Sami Callihan promo was pretty good. Grace and Kiera Hogan was a good opener out there. Even I thought the Asa Austin segments were kind of funny with the dick in a box thing too. So I thought that was pretty entertaining, and it was an enjoyable show. Like I said, my only problem with Impact right now is that they really got to watch these contracts, and I know they said this week, but they really got to get a TV deal. I don't know what's the deal with them. Last time I heard they're in talk with Access TV. I know Access TV already has 2 wrestling programs on there as it is, New Japan and WoW. Personally, I just think they need a better TV deal. I know they want to talk about how Twitch, all right, you renewed your thing with Twitch. Listen, Twitch is nice and all, but is everybody really running to Twitch right now to watch Impact Wrestling? I know some people are, but y'all got to get a better TV deal, because no one has this Pursuit channel. That channel is horrible. I've already buried the channel before. I'm sure many of us have had, from constant mistakes and not playing the right episode on there. From even at one point when the main event came on, they played the same commercial nearly 30 times, and it was just very, very annoying. So Anthem, I don't know what the talks are right now with Access TV. I haven't really heard anything other than the rumors lately and that we're in talks, but they really need to get a better TV deal, because this Pursuit channel's not working. Twitch is nice, but I need to hear more than Twitch, okay? I need to hear more than Twitch TV. You gotta get a better TV deal. That's just plain and simple, in my opinion, because the show is really good, okay? Impact's really a great show. Come on, it's better than what you got going on Monday Night Raw right now and stuff. And they're actually doing things right, because I just think sometimes people just don't want to give Impact a chance. Like I said, they've got way better. Hey, it's better than when they had the Global Force bullcrap there, or Dixie Carter and everything. Don Callis has done what he could to make this show very great. Okay, come on, they've been putting on very good pay-per-views and everything. So, Impact's in a, I want to say they're in a good spot right now, wrestling-wise and show-wise, but I just think they need to watch their contracts and not lose too many people. And, they just got to get a TV deal. That's the main thing. You got to get a better TV deal, okay? And I don't know I don't know if Jared's trying to still sue them. I don't know why, because that Global Force crap never went nowhere anyways. But you know, like I said, though, overall good show. I really check it out if you get the chance. Very entertaining, pretty good matches, and a good angle to end off the show. But I'm gonna end this, you know, from here. That's my review for Impact Wrestling. I will say one thing. I will before I go to. I know it's got really nothing to do with wrestling, but it's just kind of crazy. I saw this yesterday on the news, and I was just playing this video game the other day. Yeah, I was just playing Kingdom Hearts the other day, and everything. It's just kind of strange, but yeah, man. I would say, yeah, rest in peace to if you don't know who this is, come on. Especially if you don't know what Disney is or The Simpsons or any other cartoon. Rusty Taylor, the voice of Minnie Mouse since the 80s. Okay, like I said, I was just playing Kingdom Hearts the other day, and I was doing some mission with her in a video game, and if you know Martin Prince voiced on The Simpsons, or Cherry and Terry, multiple characters, that German kid Uther, but yeah, mostly known for the voice of Minnie Mouse, if you want to go, like I said, Minnie Mouse, as everyone knows. So I just kind of wanted to say something about it because I saw in the news, and like I said, I was just playing Kingdom Hearts the other day, so I don't know, I just wanted to acknowledge that for some reason. That, and you know, I watched The Simpsons a lot too, so yeah, R.I.P. man. It's gonna be a hard one to replace, especially for Disney, because that voice has been there for many years. And she was Huey, Dewey, and Louie in the original DuckTales in 1987. That's the current one right now. But yes, that's my review of Impact Wrestling. I'm out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.